Why don't you take this complimentary copy of Fatherhood by Bill Cosby?
Ooh, if he's as smart as he is funny, I'm sold.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're looking at moments from The Simpsons that have lost their lightheartedness due to dark events that came after the episode's initial airing.
Here's the guy you want to see!
It's hell being Mel.
I'm looking for Homer Simpson.
And I've been looking for you too, pal.
In 1999, Mel Gibson's many fans thought his biggest worry was balancing commercial appeal with credibility as an actor-filmmaker. He plays into that myth by hiring Homer Simpson as a creative consultant after tiring of sycophants. When complaining about how people love him too much to offer constructive criticism, Gibson cleverly quips,
It's hell being Mel.
The irony of that was lost after recordings of bigoted rants went public in 2006 and 2010. Additional scandals surrounding Gibson's alcohol use disorder, mental health, and personal views effectively destroyed his mainstream career.
Why don't I have a first draft of magazine?
He has since achieved some resurgence on sobriety and critically acclaimed performances. But as he's still such a controversial figure, it's not even funny to think he was once above criticism.
I guess there's just no room in today's crazy, gentle America for violent dinosaurs like us.
The New Orleans song, Oh Streetcar, a fictional musical adaptation of Tennessee Williams's A Streetcar Named Desire, opens with a number that skewers New Orleans as an immoral cesspool.
Here there, hellish Rondelay.
A Streetcar Named Marge may have won rave reviews in 1992, but headlines in 2005 read differently. The UK's Channel 4 thoughtlessly reran the episode less than a month after Hurricane Katrina. The public was in no mood to hear the devastated Nola cheekily described as
Crummy, lousy, resident wreck New Orleans.
Channel 4 quickly issued an apology, then promised to update their censorship guidelines to better account for timing of broadcasts. Still, the incident permanently associates the mean-spirited musical number with a legitimate insult to a rich community.
Well, at least that's what I thought. I have a history of missing the point of stuff like this.
Another Vietnam. Haven't all generations of Americans grown up with Schoolhouse Rock since its debut in the 70s? Well, when an incensed Bart and Lisa watched their own version in '96, the latter claims the show is only geared for Generation X. Bart declares,
We need another Vietnam to thin out their ranks a little.
alas, thousands of Gen Xers and later American generations would be killed in the global war on terror following its declaration in 2001.
I don't know how to explain the war to myself and have yet to have any clear thought of like, yes, we actually made a difference there because we didn't at all.
Controversy over the U.S. government's motivations and recruitment methods sadly echoed discourse surrounding the Vietnam War. Bart's shocking offhand remark may have never been meant to be very funny, but looking back through so much loss of life, the prediction is just horrifying.
There's something unsettling about that.
Homer gets canceled.
Hey, could you take the wheel for a second? I have to scratch myself in two places at once.
Just drop me off here.
The Simpsons went viral for anticipating the hashtag MeToo movement, but consider the tone and scenario of 1994's Homer Badman. It all begins when Homer drives babysitter Ashley home and plucks a gummy candy stuck to her jeans. Her accusations of sexual assault soon become a national story.
You grabbed me in the car!
Oh, that. No, I was just grabbing a gummy Venus de Milo that got stuck to your pants.
Yeah, right. That's the oldest excuse in the book.
Some feel that this proto-representation of cancel culture overlooks a more common crisis than someone being destroyed by such false allegations. Certainly, that's too much of a tragedy to take lightly. But at no point does this empathize with Ashley or the countless women who found nothing silly in a seething man reaching where he shouldn't. The mainstream recognition of this age-old image now makes Homer Badman feel like an unsettling missed opportunity to explore victimhood more complexly.
Homer, I thought you were an animal, but your daughter said you were a decent man. I guess she was right.
You're both right.
Cosby's First Rule. Comedian and sitcom star Bill Cosby wrote the book on proper parenting, albeit through a ghostwriter, in 1991. It was considered amusingly shocking for Homer Simpson to open the real book, Fatherhood, to a fictional entry titled
Cosby's First Law of Intergenerational Perversity.
27 years later, the man once known as America's Dad was convicted of sexual assault amid revelations that he was a serial predator. This massive scandal permanently blemished his career, to say nothing of the wacky recurring spoofs on The Simpsons.
No, actually, it's more like Kodak film. No, actually, jazz is like the new Coke. It'll be around forever.
As for the moral authority fans once sought in Cosby's book, they could never find the word perversity, but that cheeky liberty was sadly truer than anyone realized.
Thank you, Bill Cosby. You saved The Simpsons.
Going postal. A series of violent sprees involving U.S. postal workers turned going postal into a popular term.
All right, time to buy me an Uzi.
The Simpsons was already rather glib for addressing this during a school trip to the post office, where the tour guide assures the children that the USPS is a safe workplace. That comfort no longer holds up when Principal Skinner remarks,
I'm just glad I work at an elementary school.
This episode aired not 4 months before the Columbine High School massacre. Since then, the U.S. has gradually seen an escalation in mass shooting incidents, even at elementary schools.
Though these past 7 months have been filled with good days and bad, Caitlin has a support system of survivors from other school shootings.
The term going postal has indeed been retired, but for a terrible trend that Skinner eerily foreshadowed. John J. Smith.
The training wheels come off your bike. You start to notice boys you like.
We always figured the psychiatric patient who serenaded Lisa for her birthday, thinking he was Michael Jackson, was indeed voiced by Michael Jackson. The credits alias John J. Smith didn't fool anyone, but the fanfare in Matt Groening's formal confirmation in 2018 was soon hushed by the HBO documentary Leaving Neverland.
It was very much a secret, and he would tell me that if anybody found out, his life would be over and my life would be over.
The Simpsons responded to revived debates about the late King of Pop's history of sex crimes by pulling his episodes from syndication and streaming. Showrunner Al Jean even suspected Jackson of using the beloved cartoon to groom victims. Since this decision, however, conclusive evidence of sexual improprieties remains elusive. If you are able to revisit the once wholesome, stark raving dad, it's still hard not to see it as a reminder of horrible allegations.
Happy birthday, Lisa.
Phil Hartman's credit. The clip show episode, All Singing, All Dancing, already overcorrects the wholesomeness of musicals with a frame story about Snake holding the Simpsons hostage.
Because of you all, I got a tune in my head, and the only way to stop it is to make you all dead.
When the closing credits roll, the score is cut off by gunshots, as the criminal is fed up with music.
Yo, I told you to stop the music, dudes. I'm serious.
The shocking gag stops being amusing when you notice that the shots coincide with Phil Hartman's guest star credits. The beloved comedian voiced Lionel Hutz, Troy McClure, and others before he was murdered by his wife in 1998. She shot him not 6 months after All Singing, All Dancing first aired. The circumstances of Hartman's death have since haunted his hilarious work on The Simpsons, but the unfortunate coincidence in that credits gag is enough to leave viewers in silence.
What a terrible waste. Hi, I'm actor Troy McClure.
Gunter and Ernst.
A round of applause, please, for Anastasia. She loves show business. So much nicer than the savagery of the jungle, yeah?
Siegfried Fischbacher and Roy Horn's Big Cat Magic Show was a staple of Las Vegas live entertainment. It was also controversial for endangering the performers, the audience, and the cats. There's definitely nothing ethical about how the fictional duo Gunter and Ernst capture a white tiger for their act at Monty Burns' casino. It was a cathartic riot in '93 when the Beast turned on her captors. But it was a scandal when 10 years later, Roy was nearly killed by the white tiger Manticore during a performance. He was disfigured by the attack, and Siegfried and Roy never performed again. This tragedy hangs over their classic shows, to say nothing of Gunter and Ernst's satirical tragedy.
He's here, my artery is absolutely blessing because there's going to blood pressure. Otherwise you will be brain dead.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. One World Trade Plaza.
Your vehicle is illegally parked at One World Trade Plaza. Ooh.
Homer begrudgingly visits New York City after Barney leaves his car there during a bender. He ends up spending most of this 1997 episode waiting for a parking officer at One World Trade Plaza, an alias for Austin J. Tobin Plaza, between the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center.
Sorry about that, guy. They stick all the jerks in Tower 1.
That's it! I'm coming over there!
Yeah, why don't you come over here? I got something for you.
Shut up, the both of you!
4 years later, this entire site was destroyed in the most infamous terrorist attack of the 21st century. The brash antics and rivalries between the New Yorkers' Homer encounters are particularly uncomfortable for the tragedy that united a community through trauma.
Well, that's it. I'm getting out of this town alive if it kills me.
The City of New York versus Homer Simpson is still considered a favorite episode among Simpsons fans. Of course, you never know how real-world events can affect the classics. What are some other iconic TV scenes that were spoiled by harsh reality? Let us know in the comments.
The sequence became an instant comedy classic, but what the audience didn't see was the unfunny aftermath.